James Cameron just confirmed he's working on the script for Terminator 7, and we've got all the details on this long-awaited sequel. But honestly, I think there's a better way to save the franchise than just another Terminator. So, let's dive into everything we know so far. Netflix's Terminator Zero anime is arguably the best Terminator project since the James Cameron movies, and there are plenty of things Terminator 7 can learn from it. While Cameron has confirmed he is working on a secret Terminator project, the status of Terminator 7 is still unclear. However, if a new Terminator film does happen eventually, it will have big shoes to fill after how well received Terminator Zero was. With an 86% tomato meter score on Rotten Tomatoes, Terminator Zero is the franchise's highest-rated movie or show since Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Set mostly 2 years after the events of T2, Terminator Zero explores fresh ideas while still feeling connected to the Terminator universe. The anime doesn't get bogged down by trying to force itself into the existing movie timeline. Instead, it tells a compelling, self-contained story with interesting new characters like Malcolm Lee and Misaki, as well as fresh concepts like Kokoro. This blend of innovation and familiarity is exactly what Terminator 7 will need to succeed. However, even as Cameron continues to work on the script, the latest news for Terminator 7 sees Linda Hamilton announcing she's officially done with the franchise. Having first played Sarah Connor in the Terminator 4 decades ago, Hamilton reprised her role in T2 and returned again for Terminator Dark Fate in 2019. Now, she's made it clear that she has nothing left to add to the story, stating, "I'm done. I have nothing more to say. The story's been told." And speaking of what's next, now you can become a channel member and enjoy early access to videos, as well as influence which movies and shows you want us to cover on the channel through our exclusive members-only community posts. Becoming a member helps support the channel massively. With Hamilton off the table and Schwarzenegger also stepping away, Terminator 7 faces an identity crisis. The Terminator franchise has long relied on the draw of returning stars, and past sequels like Terminator Salvation struggled without familiar faces. It's unclear who Cameron had in mind for Terminator 7, but Sarah Connor likely won't be part of the picture. That's why the franchise might need to take a different approach. One of the biggest advantages Terminator Zero had over the movies was its ability to take bigger risks in the anime format. It wasn't restricted by Hollywood's blockbuster expectations, allowing it to explore fresh ideas in a serialized format. The Terminator movies, on the other hand, have played it safe for too long, recycling the same story beats instead of trying something bold. Terminator Zero introduced fascinating new elements, like an artificial intelligence that caused certain humans to ally with Skynet, and a robot who believed they were humans. These kinds of fresh takes prove that the Terminator universe has endless potential, and yet, the films have continued rehashing the same time-travel chase narrative. If Terminator 7 wants to succeed, it has to break this cycle and embrace new ideas while still feeling true to the franchise. Even though Cameron seems excited to bring Terminator back to the big screen, the film isn't officially confirmed. Based on Cameron's own comments, Terminator 7 is still in the very early scripting phase, with no guarantees that it will move forward. The Terminator franchise has a complicated rights history, bouncing between different studios over the years. While Cameron may have created the series, he doesn't have sole control over the IP, which could make things tricky. As of now, Terminator 7 remains in pre-production limbo with no official studio backing. James Cameron himself provided an ambiguous update in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. When discussing Terminator Zero, he hinted at his own project, but kept things vague. "It's totally classified. I don't want to have to send out a potentially dangerous robotic agent if you were to talk about it, even retroactively." He also expressed curiosity about Terminator Zero, despite not being directly involved with it. Cameron compared it to the Sarah Connor Chronicles, saying he enjoys seeing other creators explore the world he set in motion. His comments suggest that he finds projects like Terminator Zero interesting, but his main focus remains on his own Terminator plans. However, with no concrete details, it's uncertain when, or if, his vision for Terminator 7 will materialize. That raises the question, does the Terminator franchise need to move beyond James Cameron? There's no denying that he played a crucial role in shaping the series, with The Terminator and T2 still standing as two of the best sci-fi films of all time. But as great as Cameron is, the franchise has been stuck in the past for too long. If Terminator is ever going to truly evolve, it might need fresh creative voices to take it in a new direction. Looking at the franchise's history, every sequel has struggled to live up to the groundbreaking impact of the Terminator and T2. The original 1984 film remains a sci-fi classic with a near-perfect 100% tomato meter score and an 89% audience rating. T2 followed in 1991, earning a 91% critic score and an impressive 95% audience score, cementing its place as one of the greatest action films of all time. However, the franchise's trajectory took a downward turn from there. Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines saw a notable drop, with a 70% tomato meter score and only 46% from audiences. Things worsened with Terminator Salvation, which critics rated at a low 33%, though audiences were slightly more forgiving at 53%. Terminator Genisys fared even worse, with just a 26% critical score and a lukewarm 52% audience rating. Terminator Dark Fate attempted to course-correct, bringing back Linda Hamilton and James Cameron's involvement, and while it improved over its immediate predecessors, with a 70% critic score and 82% from audiences, it still failed to reach the heights of the first two films. This pattern highlights a major problem. No Terminator sequel has been able to recapture the magic of T1 and T2, raising the question of whether Terminator 7 can finally break the cycle or if the franchise is doomed to keep chasing its past success. While Dark Fate was better received than some of the other recent entries, it still didn't come close to the original two films, even with Cameron's involvement. If Terminator 7 tries to replicate T2 yet again, it's likely to suffer the same fate. The franchise needs new ideas and a fresh perspective to stay relevant. A big part of the problem has been Hollywood's obsession with nostalgia. Instead of moving forward, the Terminator films have been stuck retelling the same story. Terminator Zero succeeded because it dared to be different while still respecting the core of the franchise. That's the kind of approach Terminator 7 needs if it wants to break the cycle of diminishing returns. Ultimately, whether or not Terminator 7 happens, the franchise has to evolve. Terminator Zero proved that there's still life left in this universe, it just needs to be handled the right way. If the next Terminator movie can take risks, embrace fresh ideas, and break free from the repetitive time travel chase formula, it might just have a shot at bringing the series back to its former glory. But if it's just another rehash of T2, it could very well be the final nail in the coffin for the franchise. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.